at 3-0 sometimes, but sometimes we play for seeding, you go home at 3-2 or 5-0, whatever. And then we get into the last 16 the next day, so you get refresh, you can have some brekkie in the morning, you're all sorted. However, this is going to be a tough task for both of them, though, a scenario that neither of them are really going to be used to.
Well, here we go then. It's time for the round of 16 to kick off. Winner goes through. And of course, the loser will be going home. F2TEKKZ taking on Rebel Stokes, an all-English affair here in Singapore. Obviously, TekkZ being the favourite going into the tournament at the moment, but Stokes certainly someone who has had the better of him in tournament play in FIFA 19, but the first attack of the game is with TekkZ. A little heavy touch around the corner here. Neymar with the drag back, and might be a chance early on it. Rolling across the goal line. But Stokes survives there, but a big scare coming in from TekkZ at the start of this game.
And that's what he does at the start of games. He intimidates you with the ability he has inside the box. It doesn't matter whether it's dragbacks, cricketers, anything he can do to try and beat that first man, to try and show you what he's made of. He's already started the mind games, has TekkZ, and that is going to be a concern for Stokes. Stokes, of course, on the back of a somewhat disappointing E-Premier League tournament at Manchester United. He was hoping to be the representative there. Unfortunately, he fell short in that tournament, so this is a big one for him. Try and secure some Global Series ranking points, get himself closer to guaranteeing himself a playoff spot.
Well, here comes TekkZ against it again then. The first attack that Stokes really had, he unfortunately just rushed the pass and his player got caught offside, which gave the ball back to TekkZ. And now R9's bursting around the outside of Marcelo. He loves using that fake shot just to get that tiny little sprint boost, and a bit of space here for Ronaldo. Gets it onto his right foot, forces their save here from DhTekkz. This has been a hot start coming out from TekkZ. And now he has a corner.
Always switches to R9, so Neymar gets it front post, can go for the El Tornado if he wants. He's doing it every single time, Mark, and it's so difficult to defend against, but thankfully, Stokes gets away with it this time.
Stokes then from the corner on the counter-attack, and look at the acres of space that Cristiano Ronaldo has now on this left-hand side. Finally, some players for TekkZ have managed to get back into some kind of defensive position. Neymar, space inside the box. What a tackle that was from his favourite centre-back, Rio Ferdinand. Doesn't matter how many players you put in the game, TekkZ is going to stick with Ferdinand until proven otherwise. You can see exactly why there.
Unfortunate not to get away and break away with R9 there, trying to use that advanced fake shot, which TekkZ does so often, both on the right and left-hand side. It's so difficult to defend against with just that little bit of extra movement you get from hitting the advanced fake shot.
Hill to Hill from Mbappe, gets cut out there by Ferdinand. Will be a corner here to Stokes. Or to TekkZ, excuse me.
Switch to R9.
Defended by Stokes.
Oh, it's Marcelo. So he knows which players he needs to switch to try and get one of his 5-star skillers to come short for it.
Might mix this one up here. He looks like he's controlling manually Cristiano Ronaldo. He makes that run in towards the front post. Hullet was there as well, trying to get in on the action. TekkZ already shown from the set piece. He's got a couple of different tricks up his sleeve.
And that's what he always does. It doesn't matter in what form he's attacking, whether it be set pieces, whether it be from natural play. He always just offers something a little bit different. He's unpredictable to his opponent.
Well, here's R9 then, on his right foot. Obviously, 5-star weak foot. Doesn't matter what way he goes. Marcelo gets a foot on it. Ronaldo challenging Ramos. Stokes has defended this well, though. To be honest with you, he hasn't been fooled by any of the trickery that's come out of TekkZ so far. This is the first time we're really going to see him going forward on the attack. Neymar, that's a beautiful ball inside. Tries to loft that ball over the top.
But it's all well and good defending well, but if he is going to be put under constant pressure by TekkZ, eventually it's going to crack.
Here's Mbappe then, using that pace to get away, and there is that fake shot. Mbappe tries to poke it across goal, but again, Stokes defending well.
But he just has to get something on the counter-attack. If he is going to be sitting back, if he's going to be defending, if he's going to just be under the cosh all game, it's what he can do at the other end of the pitch. He needs a little bit of speed and string some passes together.
There's a ball for Neymar. Neymar with a fake shot, drag back, goes for the shot back across goal. Pele now onto his left. Didn't time it perfectly. DhTekkz, though, forced into a save. And now Stokes has a corner.
Unfortunately, just cut out there, TekkZ. Very wise to what Stokes was going to try and play it short there, and just red shirt swarming that first player. So Stokes needs to be a little bit aware that maybe he needs to get a bit more creative from his set pieces. They are phenomenal chances, and you don't want to give them up too much in a game.
TekkZ recycles possession here, back to Hullet then in midfield. Cristiano Ronaldo finds Vieira, and he takes it first time, forces another shot here from DhTekkz. That's going to be one more set piece here to DhTekkz. Will he go short? He does so. Neymar now. Is he going to look for that El Tornado, or is he going to try and attack the 18-yard box? Vieira. Ball round to Ronaldo now. Big chance. Doesn't take it. And Stokes immediately spreads the ball wide here to Mbappe.
And it's just chance after chance for DhTekkz at the moment. And he's just searching for a way to break down Stokes' defence. He's not going for anything that is too predictable. He's trying something different every time, which means that he is so difficult for read for Stokes.
Here's R9 then, a couple of step overs just to try and fool the fullback here. Vieira into Mbappe. DhTekkz is so dangerous in and around these areas. He gets dropped in the box, and that's how dangerous he is. The little half drag back inside the box. Ramos commits the foul. And this, without doubt, is the biggest chance of the game so far. Ronaldo steps up here for DhTekkz. Buries it, bottom left. DhTekkz in the lead.
I mean, buries it. I don't know if we can actually say buries it. Someone just guided it into the sand, just patted it in the end. Keeper just looked at the ball going past him, but it's where Stokes hasn't dived. He's just stayed central. But that's all DhTekkz needed to do, and that's why he is so scary and so threatening in the box, because if you are going to dive in with a manual tackle, there's always going to be that risk of giving away a penalty. And that is the perfect way for DhTekkz to open up this game, and now it'll open up Stokes' play a little bit, which will naturally give DhTekkz more chances going forward.
Great start here for DhTekkz in the round of 16. Hullet, though, looking to answer back immediately. Big chance for Mbappe. Varane managed to close down the space on his fellow countryman there just as he was about to pull the trigger there for Stokes. Now Hullet down this left-hand side. Mbappe. All around the corner now to Neymar. And again, looking to use that fake shot just to burst round the outside of his man.
And look at the possession. 66% possession for DhTekkz at the moment, taking full advantage of it too.
R9 gets tackled there by Vieira, but illegally, according to the referee. And maybe another chance just on the stroke of half-time here. Neymar runs over this one. Hullet lines up. Doesn't time it. The defender got out to it to get the block, but DhTekkz again with another corner. Neymar then, sloppy touch from him, and here's the counter-attack, and Ronaldo is just sprinting away, and there's lots of space on this right-hand side for him.
But DhTekkz has done well defending in these situations with the majority. He's usually shoved the player off the ball, and he's done so again. Very resilient DhTekkz. Even if he's slightly behind the attacking player with his defender, he'll make sure he keeps tracking back. He feels like he can just pull them a little bit. He doesn't switch off that player too quickly. He trusts his defenders. He trusts his team, and I think that is key to him. He plays with the same players every tournament.
Great ball over to R9 here from Vieira. There's a big chance, and he takes it. 2-0 to DhTekkz. Right at the end of the half. In time added on, he doubles his lead. And I love how he just waited for that run of Ronaldo. The timing of the ball over the top. The pass inside and the finish. Just classic DhTekkz.
And Stokes probably thought that that was the end of the half after his final attack, but DhTekkz just went streaming forward. Sometimes in those situations, we'll see players maybe play a pass backwards and then the whistle is blown. But DhTekkz knew full well what the timer was saying. He knew he had to keep going forward, and he's rewarded. And now with a 2-goal cushion going into the end of this first half of the first leg, it has been all DhTekkz in terms of possession. Stokes has looked somewhat threatening on the counter-attack, but maybe not offering as much as we know he can offer in those scenarios.
Yeah, a little bit of a shake of the head there from Stokes after that second goal went in. I don't know if it was more frustration that maybe he lost concentration or wasn't happy with how his goalkeeper reacted to that situation. Wasn't the most dangerous of shots from DhTekkz. Another day you might have seen De Gea stick a leg out and maybe do a little bit more with that, but
those are the shots that go in, the low-driven, the timed green, and they're not easy to do. I mean, you won't see your average player being able to do it as consistently as DhTekkz does, especially in a situation where you've already played 5 rounds of FIFA already today and you're jet-lagged. It's definitely not easy for these players here in Singapore, especially 2 players from the UK.
Here's Cristiano Ronaldo again inside the 18-yard box, and you always feel like something's going to happen. As soon as DhTekkz gets sort of around 20 yards, just outside the 18-yard box, there's danger, but when he gets inside it, it becomes even more difficult of a task to defend, just because you know that one mistimed tackle is going to give away a penalty like we've already seen.
It's like when you're watching a horror film and you know there's going to be that jump scare at any point and you're kind of just waiting and you're hesitating and you know there's just going to be that one moment, and that's what DhTekkz does to you. He just suddenly, he will scare you just when you think you're comfortable.
His Neymar then, DhTekkz pass one. Great ball, looked for the driven ball in, but Kyle Walker in position to cut that one out. Now, can Stokes find something here at the start of the second half to give himself a little way back into this game, a little bit of belief?
Because this is often where Stokes does fall.
Oh, DhTekkz! Again, he's just deadly in front of goal today.
It's a jump scare. Stokes was comfortable. He thought he was fine, and then bam, someone's punched a hole through the door. It's terrifying what DhTekkz can do. I was just about to say, Stokes, he's fallen at this stage of the competition several times already this season. Last 16 is about as far as he gets. And yeah, okay, he's still going to be achieving a decent amount of global series ranking points. We probably will see him at playoffs because he's qualifying for all these tournaments. But he does have that potential to get that little bit further.
Really has been impressive so far what we have seen from DhTekkz. Just momentarily lost our picture here in the commentary booth. We'll try and keep you up to date as soon as we can, but here we go, we're back in the game now. Makes it much easier to commentate.
I was just going to start yelling PGL several times because that's all I could see on the screen, but 3-0 now for DhTekkz in the first leg. And the thing is, the last time we saw DhTekkz was, of course, in his 4th round game when he was at 3-0, and he was down 3-1 after the first leg, and then we saw him come to life. It's about how far he can go now when he's starting to score goal after goal. Is it going to be an absolute demolishing? Is it going to add to all of his statistics? Or are we going to see this DhTekkz who holds on to the ball, who starts playing that possession and starts closing games out to try and secure himself into the quarterfinals of the Xbox?
And the thing for me, Dan, is how often do we say that's a big chance for DhTekkz that he's missed as he's in now with CR7? There was that chance. Ball falls back to Neymar now, and almost recycles the ball, and there it is. Somehow, DhTekkz bundles the ball home. It's a little bit lucky with the rebound, but having been represented with that chance, he puts it away.
It's fortunate, but at the same time, it's DhTekkz's reaction to the situation. He takes that first shot with Ronaldo, and a lot of people, when that ball floats back to Ronaldo, will just naturally hammer shoot and say, oh, we're going to shoot because the keeper's off. He doesn't. He crosses it back into the middle, takes another shot, it goes back to Neymar. He's straight away taking more shots. He knows what he wants to do with the ball. He knows whether he needs to pass it or not. And he will take that little bit of fortune. But fortune favours the brave. He puts himself in that scenario. He's getting those chances because he's dominating the possession and he's dominating going forward. And Stokes is struggling here. But there is always still that chance that maybe he can get back into things. Maybe suddenly DhTekkz takes his eye off the ball here. But it doesn't happen very often.
There is a second leg here to come for Stokes. Maybe just to compose himself and have a think about what he can change up in this game, because he's down by 4 now. Thierry Henry, prime icon moments card on the pitch now, and he's straight into the action, and he's gonna hit the post. That's a huge chance there for Stokes. Didn't time it well, dragged it across goal, and unfortunately for him, Thierry Henry, fresh on the pitch, just couldn't make the difference.
And that's such a shame for Stokes as well, but you're completely right, didn't time it green. I mean, he's going to feel like he shouldn't have to when DhTekkz had moved his keeper and when it seemed like an open goal, but maybe Thierry Henry slightly off balance there and it's not struck it well. And ultimately, DhTekkz will keep this clean sheet and keep the 4-goal advantage. And most importantly, at the moment, will stay undefeated. He was very proud of the fact that he's the only player who's gone undefeated in 2 tournaments. Could we, dare I say it, see 3 tournaments undefeated and a 3rd tournament win in a row for DhTekkz?
Well, this is a great little bit of play here, and Henry drives it across. Sergio Ramos, a combination of the two, and Henry, having got there, having slid in and got his shot away, couldn't find the back of the net.
I mean, before he was Rebel Stokes, he was Bundled Stokes, because he used to bundle them in. Of course, now recently representing Rebel, a fantastic signing for them, I've got to say. I think Stokes is one of these players to watch for the future. It's a tough draw for him getting ThTekkz in the round of 16, but that's what happens when you manage to scrape through the Swiss. Did lose a game on penalties. I think it was against Impact in his first round of Swiss he lost on penalties. If he had won that, and suddenly he's 4-1 in Swiss, and then he wouldn't face the likes of ThTekkz early on. So it's very fine margins sometimes between finishing round of 16 or even quarterfinals, semi-finals. Sometimes very fine margins just between finishing in Swiss and getting to those knockout stages.
Well, those fine margins turn into Global Series ranking points as well.
Yeah,
you know, every single round that goes past is a bump up in those points, and that's what the guys are looking at every single time they're at a tournament is how many points can I get on the board? How many places can I jump up those leaderboards and get closer to securing myself qualification towards the E-World Cup final. One man who's looked dominant at the top of that leaderboard on the Xbox is looking dominant in this game as well, and that is, of course, F2TEKKZ. 83 minutes gone in game now. 4-0 up here, but if Stokes can find a goal towards the end of this game, just give himself that mental reset. 3 goals is something that we have seen players come back from in the past.
Oh, but it's 4 he's got to come back from, unfortunately, which is just
I said if he could get 1 game goal at the end of this game, Dan, please listen.
So, well, yeah, I try.
Here's
I do
Marcelo
try.
then. Could be more difficult, though, if ThTekkZ finds another goal, and he finds it in the most precise way possible. Ronaldo finds the top corner. And just as we're trying to write a narrative for Stokes to have some sort of hope, ThTekkZ again just asserts his dominance on all of the competitors that he plays. And now, I don't see anyone beating ThTekkZ if he's playing like this.
The main issue is when you're behind against ThTekkZ, you start to use manual defending to try and win the ball back higher up the pitch, and that's just going to play into ThTekkZ's hands. Because as soon as ThTekkZ sees that little cursor above one of the players' heads, he's going to start to whip out all the skill moves. It doesn't matter if it's advanced fake shots or if it's croquettes or whatnot. He's going to use everything in his power to beat that man, and he does it so comfortably.
Now there's going to be spaces in behind for Stokes as he has to commit forward and try desperately to get the ball back, but that is an emphatic statement from F2TEKKZ.